One dry summer, 2 of the ranch's horses had become mired in a marsh. Hawk pulled them out alone, using a lasso in great patience. He asked for nothing in return. The owner saw everything and offered him food, and then occasional work. Hawk wasn't an official employee. He didn't sleep with the others. He had a separate shelter near the water. He kept his rituals, lighting the fire in the ancient way, murmuring songs in a language no one understood. In that low light, he seemed closer to the past than the present. When the horseshoe tracks were discovered in the damp dust of the plain, Charlie said nothing. He looked at the ground, measured the distance between steps, then raised his eyes toward the grove of oaks where he knew the Indian had his shelter. He found him sitting on a log, sharpening a long knife. The blade flashed briefly with every movement. Akla didn't look at him at first. He continued sharpening, listening perhaps to the wind, perhaps to the footsteps. "They came at night," Charlie said. The knife stopped. The Indian looked up. His eyes were the color of a storm that had not yet broken. He nodded before Charlie's words could fully take shape. It wasn't a gesture of haste, but one of understanding, as if the explanation merely confirmed something he already knew. They set out together toward the edge of the range. The dry grass rustled under their feet, and the wind brought the smell of stagnant water and salt. Charlie pointed to the horseshoe tracks that cut through the earth and descended toward the ravine. Hawk leaned down without a word. He touched the soil with his fingertips, as if touching the forehead of a sick child. He rubbed the dust between his fingers. He caught the scent of the air. He traced the direction of the flattened grass, the way the blades were broken, not just pressed down. His gaze wasn't searching, it was gathering. The silence lasted as long as a deep breath. Then he said slowly, without raising his voice, 5 horses. One carries weight on its hind legs. It shows in the depth of the print. They are not from nearby. They don't know the place well, they circled for a while looking for the way. His words were not spectacular. They were simple, but they fell heavy, like well-placed stones. For the first time since setting foot in Texas, Charlie felt he wasn't alone on that vast land. Not just accompanied, but supported by a gaze that saw further than his own. "How far?" he asked. The Indian rose slowly and looked toward the low line of oaks, where the shadows were beginning to thicken. The wind moved his hair, but he remained motionless. "Not too far. They hid the cattle. They will return tonight." It wasn't a guess. There was no fear in his voice.